Hey hockey fans, Ben Horner here welcoming you to another great season of ECAC Men's West Hockey. With a new campaign upon us, we caught up with the league's head coaches to find out their expectations for the coming season, as well as hear their thoughts on what players, new and returning, might make an impact on the ice in 2015-16. We also touched base with them to get their thoughts on how their teams match up with the other schools in the league. Here's what they had to say.
Obviously, I think our team is looking forward to compete for a West Championship. It's been a few years now. The group of seniors we had wanted their sophomore year, and can't think of a better way of those guys going out is to try to win a West Championship. I think if you look up front, our senior forwards, Karshan Carrick, Brian Depp, Tommy Sumi, Jared Van Holt, Michael Collins, and Greg Whittle, all six of those guys have been great players for us, and I think you got to look at a guy like Alexander Tallene, who's a junior and had a great year last year. Looking forward to having a big year this year. Back end, I think with the newcomers, Blake O'Neill is somebody we're pretty excited about. Ken Teska and Mitch Aikens up front seem to be fitting in pretty well. So we're excited for the year to get started. Our league is really, really good from top to bottom. Nazareth has got everybody coming back, and Newman was young last year, so they're going to have some key guys back. And obviously Hobart winning the division. I mean, it's so tight every day in the league, so it's really hard to predict who's going to be the best. But we hopefully we're in the mix at the end.
Expectations for this coming season are same as they are every year. I mean, I'm a believer that you go after every year the same, whether you're top heavy with veteran players or you got a big group of young guys coming in. You got to play your best hockey, and you got to get a level of rhythm and mojo going, and hopefully have a little luck on your side. So our goal here at Hobart College is always to go after trying to win your league and get to the NCAAs and have success all the way through that experience. Certainly with graduating what we graduated from last year, we graduated some key players last year, and you got to fill those holes with new guys and returning guys. But that being said, 4 years ago, for the class that just graduated, as freshmen, they won a league championship, and credit goes to them and the returning veterans, and certainly the leadership of that class. But if I remember correctly, we had only 2 seniors in that class, and they ended up winning the league as a freshman group. My expectation for this year is similar to that. I like our leadership, I like our veteranship, and I like the new guys coming in. And hopefully they, that group won it as first years, and then they turn around and won it as seniors. So, maybe this group here can get 3 out of the 4. So the expectations are what they always are, and I'm excited about this group. To get the success that we want to have this year, to earn that, we certainly have to have some real key performances out of guys like Mac Olson and Ben Gamache, Nick Bingham up front, and on defense, Johnny Neal and Carl Belizzardo have logged a lot of ice time. We're really excited about getting Connor Simon back for a full year. He can really make a difference and can come out of the woodwork for us, even though he's already made a statement of how good he is his first year. And Mitch Byer, who's logged a lot of ice on defense as well, will be key. So I like those returning guys, along with our goaltending of Lino Cheminenti and Frank Oblinger. Frank had a stellar year last year, to say the least. So certainly the expectations are high with him, and Lino's show that he can, during his career here, he's beaten the #1 team in the country. He's had some huge games for us. So between the pipes, I'm really excited about what we have there. So with both Lino and Frank. Our league is what it is. I mean, everybody's getting some recruits that everybody else wanted. So it's going to be a battle. I mean, I think last year we had a real good year, and maybe had a pretty good spread on the league in terms of being in first place and how far ahead of we were from some other teams. But that was a real oddity. Usually it's down to the last weekend, and 3 or 4 teams could end up in first place. It's usually that tight. So I expect this year to be a lot like that. I look at all the teams. I think all the teams at least brought their their programs up a click, and some a couple clicks, in terms of what they'll be like this year. So I think it'll be very competitive. 1 through 6 for sure. It'll be anybody can win any single game.
Fans, and welcome to the 2015 and 2016 Winter Preview Special. This is Tyson Hagler, and joining me this week is the head coach for the men's hockey and men's golf team, Arlen Marshall. Coach, how the Valiants been looking so far on the ice this week?
They look good. They're working hard. Implementing some things here for our group to move forward, and they seem to be grasping it so far. But it's still early. We've only been on the ice 5 times, so time will tell.
You have a group that consists of a lot of upperclassmen and underclassmen. Can you talk about how your team's been meshing together with that mix of older and younger guys?
It's been good so far. Again, it's still early, so we'll see how they come together as a team. It's a lot more than just on the ice. A lot of it has to do with off the ice, how they come together, and whether or not they want to play for one another. So, but from my perspective so far, it's been positive. But it's a long season, and it's a week-to-week process of becoming a team.
What's going to be the expectations for the Valiants this year on the ice?
Our expectations at the end, they're always the same. Where we want to be the best in our conference and have a shot at getting to the NCAA tournament. Now it's a tough road, right? We got one of the top conferences in Division III, so it's really a focus of meeting our expectations each week in our preparation, focusing on the process of what we need to do to get ourselves prepared to play on the weekend.
A big parameter of a team is how they can improve from year to year, week to week. So where are you looking for your Valiants to improve on the ice compared from last year now to this year?
Yeah. Again, the process. Every week in practice, every day of getting better. Right? I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but we want to keep progressing every day, every week in practice, and really focusing on the process of what we need to do to be great at a few certain areas, certain things in our game. So that's definitely one area that we definitely have to look at in comparison to last year, what we did and to what we're going to be doing this year.
You lost a veteran goalie in Brian Fleming, so now you have a competition to see who's going to replace him. How has the competition between your goalies been going so far this year?
It's good. It's been a healthy, competitive, field so far for the 3 of them, Williams and Redbin and our newcomer Tyler Fever. So, and they've been, again, we've only been on the ice 5 times, and they get evaluated each day based on how they perform and what they're doing or what they could be doing more, what they need to improve on. So, but after this first week, it's been good. It's been healthy competition, like I said, which is a good thing and which is what we want out of our goalies each week.
And like you say, it's early in the year, but what do you think could be the strengths for this Valiant team this year?
We'll see. I don't know yet. It's up to us as a coaching staff, more so the guys in that dressing room to figure out if they want to buy in and really, again, focus on the process of what we want to get good at.
And finally, Coach, what are going to be the keys to Manhattanville having a successful year and making a run at the conference championship?
Really, it's a little bit cliche, but one game at a time. One game at a time, preparing for that game each weekend, and our due process leading up in our our day-to-day practices, Monday through Thursday, getting ready for our games.
Well, I think for us, every year we've gotten better. We've shown improvement in a lot of areas, and I think that's our goal for this year is just continue to improve, not worry about the standings or where we are come the end of the season. I think if we break it down into segments and worry about getting better each and every day, and I know it's cliche, but I think that's where we are as a program. And at the end of the day, certainly we'd like to be competing for the top spot in the league, but I think more importantly, we'll worry about the process and how we get there. Two guys that are really key for us, Scott Dawson and C.J. Murray. There were two guys that were injured pretty much the entire first half of the season, came back and really made a difference in our lineup the second half. Scott's just an all-around outstanding defenseman, solid at both ends of the ice, and has the ability to be one of the top D in the league. And C.J. Murray is as offensive of a player as we've had, and hopefully he can stay healthy. Dom Kabaj had a great year, his first year here, along with Oliver Jansen. So we'll look to those guys, but there's a number of guys. I don't think we're going to be, relying on 2 or 3 guys. I think we're pretty deep this year and should have contributions from throughout the lineup. I think this year, with as big a senior class as we have, we don't need the freshmen to come in and step in and be difference makers. Certainly we're hoping that's the case. I think Brad Pizzi has that opportunity. A number of other guys, Austin Romzak, I don't want to single guys out, but we got a good core we feel there, and obviously we haven't started on ice yet, but I think a number of those guys can step in and compete for spots right away. But as I said, we're pretty deep up front especially, and on the back end, so we can take our time with their development, but I do think they'll be difference makers when it's over. This year, more than any that I've been in the league, I think any one of all 6 teams could win it. I honestly feel that way. I think it's so competitive from top to bottom. I know some teams lost some key guys, but a lot of teams recruited very well this year. And I think Newman, with the amount of guys they returned and the end of the season they had last year, was certainly on paper, in my eyes, maybe the top team in the league. But I think it's a battle each and every game that we play in our league, and I think it's going to be awfully difficult this year. There's a lot of parity. I think Utica will be back. Elmira's certainly a very good team, and Hobart was obviously the league champion. I think Manhattanville will be much improved. So I think it's going to be awfully difficult in our league this year, which is unfortunate without the automatic bid. But I see it as being one of any team. All 6 of us, I think, could actually finish in first place.
Well, obviously, coming in as a new coach, there's a lot of obstacles you have to overcome, and it's painstaking, but we're staying methodical with the details, making sure all the guys are on the same page. They understand what their expectations are. They understand what the rules are. We're making sure that we clearly identify what our team goals are. So whenever we're playing throughout the year, we know how to hit them, and the importance of always being focused on one team goal. So there's obviously some ups and downs. So far, I think it's been exceptionally well. We have great leadership in Stephen Lowe, captain, assistant captains of Brandon Gagne and Zach Lazaro. Those are 3 guys that have really helped the transition go a little bit more smoothly than I had anticipated. But overall, I think we're getting ourselves very prepared for the year, and we have the right pieces of the puzzle in place. We have a great core of guys coming back from last year. We only lost 4 seniors. We picked up 4 freshmen and a transfer, so we got better, and I'm very excited about this year. I think every game is going to be exciting. First year for me behind the bench as a head coach, I think every game is going to be very exciting. Obviously, Friday night against Daniel Webster is our first game of the year. I think that should be a lot of fun for everybody involved. But throughout the year, we have a lot of tough games. I mean, our conference, ECAC West, is the toughest conference, in my opinion, of all Division III hockey. So one of our biggest competitors has always been Hobart. They were strong last year. They're going to be strong again this year. They were actually the ones that knocked us out last year in the championship game, in the 2-1 game. So we have a little bit. We have to make sure that we're come prepared and ready for that game, because they're going to become prepared and ready for that game. Another good opponent is going to be Elmira. They're always very quick, speedy. They're very skilled, so we have to make sure that we adjust our game plan to be successful against them as well. Our first goal throughout the year is to take the league, take the conference. After that, it's kind of out of our hands if we get into the national tournament or not. There's a voting pool, and we have to get voted in. So we're going to worry about the things that we can control. We can control our effort, we can control game-to-game actions, and we can make sure that we control how prepared we are and ready to play in every game. And if we do that, we'll see what happens throughout the year. But our main goal, ECAC West first, and then national championship after that.
Well, I've been chomping at the bit to finally get out here, in on the odd and hear the pucks going off the glass and finally get off the track and on the ice. We love being here. We're working hard. We've got plenty of ice, and we're really excited to get the season started and put some wins under our belt. Well, I think we return a big group. We're introducing a big group physically. I think the sooner we gel, the better off we're going to be, of course. But in our league, I think we'll be very competitive, and it's our goal to host a playoff game right here in the Odd.